You are now tuned in to Atlanta's hottest radio show.
Our stories from our studio to your ear. It's the Beyond Swanky podcast.
With your host, Kennedy Lucas. On Swanky 93.3 radio station. The Heat 94.6 radio station.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Yes, it is I, K.L.P, Kennedy Lucas, live from Swanky Studios to give y'all another exciting The Beyond Swanky podcast. How is everyone doing? Of course, we've got Coco up in the studio. We've got Monica. We've got T. Y'all, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday indeed. T, we got him behind the mic. T, what's going on, man? How was your Thanksgiving?
Man, I ate too much, is what I got to say. I'm getting fat. No, honestly, Thanksgiving was fantastic. You finally gave us the time off. I'm just kidding, Kennedy. I'm so just kidding. We've got time off. I went home to the fam and, telling them all about the success we're bringing in for K.L.P Entertainment. Of course, I had my girl with me as well, and she enjoyed her time with the fam. So it's good. Ready to be back at work, and we ready for another exciting podcast. Good to be here.
Good to be here as well, T. Of course, we've got. I've had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Of course, if you guys want to hear all about my Thanksgiving, check out the latest podcast, K.L.P Aftermath Season 4, Monday's episode, because I mean, that's what we talked about at the beginning of the podcast on that show. But I've had a good one. Of course, we ate. I spent time with the fam, went shopping, spent some money on Christmas gifts. Of course, me and my squad were doing gift exchange this year. So very, very excited for that. We went shopping for myself, and got a new camera and got a new sound bar, and we doing some great things out here in this universe. So it's been good. We've been on sets. T, Monica, y'all know about the set days we have. Of course, we're filming 2 new movies. A new movie which we're going to announce. Well, we kind of announced it on the K.L.P Aftermath, but of course we're going to be shouting out the official poster for the movie tomorrow, or today, rather, by the time you're hearing the podcast. Of course, the Dragonstone of Lannister. Of course, that is me and Mason, good old Mason Carter. He's a director for K.L.P Entertainment. He comes back into the studio, and we wrote it, and we reproduced it, animated it, and, we sent it off. So, very, very excited for that. We've been on set for that. And, of course, another new film, Once Upon a Time in Atlanta, is another new animated film that we're working on currently. It's good because that movie is a feature for the next year. And, of course, we're going to be spending some time the weekends we have, and then a little bit before actual Christmas Day, the 23rd, we're shutting it down. But before that, we're going to be in the studios working hard for that film as well. So very, very excited for that. It's good to be here as well. Coco, I see you, man. But you gave us the okay because we've got to talk about it on this show here, because it can't wait until the K.L.P Aftermath on Thursday. It just cannot wait for that, because everybody's going to be talking about it today, right? And we got to dabble on into it. So let's dabble on into it, because this is a great podcast, and we have a topic of conversation here today. We do. But we got to talk about that new Super Mario's trailer 2. We saw Princess Peach, right? We saw Donkey Kong. We didn't get to hear Donkey Kong. So I thought we were going to hear the voice acting of Donkey Kong, but I guess Nintendo says, yep, y'all ain't ready for that. But we did get to hear Princess Peach in this movie. Honestly, my take on it, I think it's going to be an excellent movie, right? It's very interesting to hear Chris Pratt voice Mario, and he's saying what Mario would say. Like at the end, he says Yahoo, right? And it was, I don't know, when I first heard it, I'm like, ooh. But when I heard it 3-4 more times, I said, okay, honestly, Chris Pratt, he's trying, right? I'm not understanding why a lot, and people are going to hate. People are going to hate on people making films all day long if they want to. That's how people are. People are just so vicious, right? Somebody gave me a 1 star, gave us a 1 star on Hardline second term on Amazon Prime. And I laughed, right? Because I know somebody's not going to like any of the films that we're producing. Somebody's not going to like it, right? Same point of this. Some people are not going to like Chris Pratt voice acting and voicing Mario. Honestly, I think he's going to do okay. He's trying, right? He genuinely tried. So I'm a Chris Pratt fan to a certain extent, but like we got to give him some slack, right? Because he's genuinely he's trying his damnedest to try to pull off the character. So we've heard a little bit more of Toad, right? We did see Yoshi's, right? We saw Yoshi's in the trailer, so very very interested to see more of the Yoshis in this. Of course, I'm probably thinking that Yoshi's probably not going to get most of a voice type of thing because he doesn't really speak. Luigi, finally, Charlie Day is voicing Luigi. We get to hear a little bit more of a dialogue when it comes down to that. Honestly, the cast is pretty good for the most part. For what it is pretty good. I don't know. I'm going to go see the movie when it comes out in April. I think their promotions, and I get it, they're hyping it up, right? But I don't know. I kind of have this sense that they are promoting the movie a little bit too early. Because we're in December, right? The movie comes out in April. So you gotta, we're not even in December. Well, we're technically, yeah, let's see what the day, I'm looking at the calendar here today because I kind of lost. Okay, so today, well, by the time you hear in the podcast, it'll be the 30th. So we haven't even touched down in December. So you got December, January, February, and March, right? There's 3 months away. So I don't know. Maybe that's just part of their marketing tactic. I honestly think they're kind of marketing it a little bit too early. But I digress. Honestly, Chris Pratt is trying something out here. I can't wait to see this movie when it comes out in April. The trailer was really good. I really like how they have the Super Mario elements and they got the Mario Kart elements, right? That's when he says the Yahoo at the end. He has Peach, Toad, Donkey Kong, a whole bunch of friends driving carts to somewhere. Quite interesting, right? That's really cool to see the Mario Kart type of vibe that's in this film. Like I think this movie's gonna be great. I can't wait to watch it to see more of it, right? I'm probably gonna ask my little brother Ryan because we're video game buffs. Hey, let's go out and let's watch this movie in April. Let's go buy tickets and go see this movie because definitely I'm going to go see this movie. Now, you guys came on to the juiciness Beyond Swanky podcast. Coco, holla at him.
Anxiety is something that I believe we all go through and have gone through in our lives. That uncertainty, that feeling that something negative is going to happen when you're not too sure what is going to happen. That pit you get in your stomach, that choking you get in your throat. Pause. Anxiety is when we're uncertain. So our mind fills in the blanks with negativity. Perhaps you've done something. Perhaps you think someone is doing something behind your back. Perhaps you are a part of something that none of us could even begin to understand. More or less, we all experience it at some point.
That is true. Now, based off the hints of the title of our podcast, we're talking about anxiety. Now, this is something that is the stories and what we're about to say is near and dear to my heart, ladies and gentlemen, to our audiences out there today. Anxiety is one of the things that I've gotten better with, Coco, over the years. Back then, I've had, and I still have anxiety. I think I have extreme anxiety and extreme PTSD, right? And I'll expand more about how I formed my PTSD and anxiety. But it is true. Anxiety is real, right? Anxiety is real to the human eye. A lot of people may not show it. The ways that I try to cope with it, with anxiety, is meditation, right? Whether if I'm at home in my house or in my balcony, my backyard area, I am in my balcony, patio, if you will, meditating, right? I actually talked to one of my coworkers today. She told me there's one thing to deal with anxiety, which by the time you're hearing the podcast, I probably haven't tried it yet, but she told me that she buys bath bombs, right? And she soaks, right? Now I'm more of a shower guy, right? If I need a shower, I'll take a shower. But my coworker, she was telling me, hey, go to the store. When you go to the store and buy your groceries, buy some bath bombs. Soak your body in bath bombs in your tub, and that really help you ease the anxiety. Um, but anxiety is real, right? A lot of adults have it. A lot of young adults, college kids especially, have it. Um, a lot of adults don't show their anxiety. It's okay to have anxiety. Um, it's okay to take medication for that anxiety. I think we as adults we try to shield it because we're adults and we're taught, or I was taught to, be strong. Like don't you shouldn't feel the anxiety. You're fine, right? But it's okay to break down and say, hey, yes, I have anxiety.
But I don't want to talk about anxiety today. What I want to talk about is why anxiety should not be the reason for you to be keeping something that you shouldn't be keeping to yourself. I'm going to be using names, and I'm going to put myself in this situation. So I'll start off with a story where I had an incredible amount of anxiety, but I didn't let that not stop me. And I will put myself on the chopping block right now. A couple years ago, with my ex, Jay, I know you listen to these every once in a while. Hopefully you listen to this episode. I know I've told you this already. But again, this is for the point of this episode. Again, Jay and I were together 2 years, right? And I cheated on her. I cheated on her on New Year's Eve. But I have never done that before. I've never cheated ever in my life. There are some people out there who would disagree with that notion. There are some people who are out there who have believed that I've been cheating my whole life. But no, that is the first and only time that I've done that. And when I cheated on her, I had a massive internal battle with myself. I remember all the time when we were together, I would tell her, I'd be like, yo, shorty, listen, if you ever cheated on me, I'd leave you in a heartbeat. If I ever cheated on you, you have to leave me in a heartbeat. You have to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. And I know that was tough for you, Coco. I know that, when a scenario goes like that, and that's something I didn't know about you. But and it happens, right? Cheating, it happens. But I applaud you for that when you say, hey, if I ever cheat, please leave me, right? Um, that's a good notion, right? Because I've seen a lot of our generation, and I know we're talking about anxiety, guys, and we still are, but a lot of people our generation where if it's the girl or the guy that cheated on each other, they tend to stay in the relationship, and it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't turn out for the better, right? Because there's always that in each other's minds, right? If something goes wrong, or somebody, one partner or one girlfriend, one boyfriend does something wrong, oh yeah, because you cheated on me, right? So they're always using that as the backup result. So that's good to where if that happens, you kind of made it to where okay, here's the deal. If I ever step out on you, you step out on me, right? And I think that's a good, honestly, in my opinion, that's a good way to go in relationships, on my opinion, on that take.
Again, all the reasons, stuff like that, not anyone's business, frankly. But the fact is that it happened, and those are the principles that I live by. So again, I had an internal battle. I keep it to myself. Shorty never knows about it. Never knows. Or I tell her immediately and show her the respect that she deserves. Jay is black. I am black. You already know how I feel about the black women. You already know how I feel about women in general. Most respect ever. And I was incredibly anxious. I remember that day, I tried calling her so many times. And I don't mean like I was ringing, she wasn't answering. I mean like I was picking up the phone to do it, but then putting it down, or like, you know what I mean? Like just, just really trying to avoid doing it. Really trying. And after I really had to sit with myself and think, and of course some encouragement externally, I had to overcome that overwhelming anxiety. Because I feel like that's one of the worst anxieties, when you know you've done something wrong or unforgivable. I would be lying if I were to sit here and say that I have even forgiven myself.
So I'm like that too. Um, I've done some things that, uh, not lately, but I've done some things in the past that I'm not too happy about. And some things I've done that I'm not too happy about, some things I've had to do. But there's been I've done things to where, yeah, maybe I wasn't too happy about that. Um, and when I've done some bad things, well, and not lately, but in the passing, when I've done bad things, I feel anxious. I feel sad. I feel a bit of guilt, right? So every waking moment, I try. Number one, I try to do things the right way, so that way there's nothing coming back on me, because I'm a person of that believes in bad karma, right? You do good karma, then, or you do good things, good karma comes back out of it. When you do bad negative energy, then bad karma comes back around. So I definitely do believe in good karma and bad karma. Um, so that's where I feel, where me and you, Coco, were kind of like in this scenario where when you've hurt somebody, because I've hurt people. I've hurt many people in college. I've hurt many women back in high school. So to this day, I do regret all the, and it's very few now, but when I've hurt women, when I've had a girl from high school that I really liked, but I hurt her, and there's been girls in college I really like, and I hurt them. I feel bad about it. I still feel bad about it, but obviously I move on. But I feel a bit of guilt, a bit of negative energy towards that. And it haunts me. It does. Now, of course, I pray, and I pray to God, and I say, hey, you know, please wash away this sin, wash away this negative energy, put me in a positive light. My intentions was good, but my actions was bad. Um, and I get better each day about it. But yes, to your point, Coco, yes, I too feel a bit of guilt if I've hurt somebody.
Because I have not. That's really the truth of the matter is, again, this is my show. I'm transparent with y'all. I have not. And it's very plain and simple. But on that day, when I sat there and, built up the courage to call her up and do it, is a very difficult thing to do mentally. Because again, it's so much harder when it's 100% you are in the wrong. You know what I mean? It's your fault. And I think that's why it's so much more necessary to go and tell the person. I told her, she was upset, and then she said that she wanted to stay with me. Okay, but I still had to break up with her because, and that's just me, you know what I mean? That's just me. I'm not saying do that. Please don't follow in my footsteps. Don't cheat on your spouse. Don't cheat on your significant other and then break up with. Don't do that. That is my own personal reasons as to why I still did that. Because I have respect for she. Very simple. You have your own personal reasons. The only point I want you to take from me saying this to you is that no matter how difficult it is, please do not keep it from them. Don't do that. It will weigh on you forever. It will weigh on you for the rest of your life. And you do not want that. If you are someone like me, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you think you are. It's going to weigh on you. It will weigh on you. No matter what. You will think about it. Whether it's every day, whether it's once a month, whether it's once a year, whether it's once every 10 years. It will weigh on you.
And to add on to that point, like you just mentioned, yes, it does. Again, back in the past, I haven't done anything horrible as of late, but in the past, where things weigh on me, and I've hurt somebody, whether it was a high school sweetheart or a college sweetheart, I wish I could turn back time, right? Or I wish I could send that person that I've hurt, whether it's high school or middle school, send them an email or a letter saying, I know we haven't talked in years, but I just wanted to write this letter to say, I'm sorry. My fault. I messed this up. This is totally on me. And for us, men and women, but I speak for my gentlemen, it's okay to say you're sorry, right? I think we also, Coco and T and Monica, I think we get this notion that for us men, and this could work for women too, but us men, we are so stubborn, right? Not me, right? Because if I know I fucked up, I'm going to say I'm sorry. Yeah, I messed that up, right? Because as a man, you're man enough to apologize for your actions, right? If you genuinely mean your actions to be good intent, but the action was bad, something like that happens to me, I will go up to the person and say, yeah, I'm sorry. That's on me. I take full responsibility of that, right? Because that's what's being a man's like, right? We're hiding this stigma, as in women can do this too, but men hide this stigma of, oh, I did this wrong, but I'm a man, so I ain't got to apologize. Oh, I'm stubborn. I ain't got to apologize. Oh, I'm right, so I ain't got to apologize. No, absolutely not. I've learned where I messed up on something, I will go up and say, yeah, I'm sorry. This is my fault. Because I thought this was this, and it was this. Totally my fault. I apologize. Same thing. Men, it's okay to say sorry to your lady. If you know you 100% wrong, say sorry. Right? Women love that. Some women love it that if you know you mess up and you ain't stubborn enough to say, oh, that was my girl. My girl did that. No. Monica, you seen it. I messed up. Hey, Monty, I'm sorry. I fucked up. I'm so sorry. That's totally on me. How can I make this up? Right? There's nothing wrong with saying sorry. Because if you don't say sorry, to your point, Coco, it will weigh on you. You're going to think about it. If there's a heated argument between you and your lady, you're going to go to bed pissed off because you didn't say sorry, and you won't sleep well at night. Right? it's like a conscious thing. You want to clear your conscience. If you know you messed up and you said you're sorry, you're going to bed and you're not really worried about it because all has been forgiven. But if you're going to bed and you think you right? Because us men, we always think we right. But let me tell y'all, gentlemen out there, these women, they smart. They very smart. So men think they right all the damn time. And now your lady's mad. Your girlfriend, your wife, your boo thing, whoever, they're mad. Now you're mad. Now you're in the bed sleeping. You're thinking about it and you're losing sleep over it because you're so mad. Right? It's okay to say sorry.
It will weigh on you. Don't sit here, keep things to yourself, and then get upset when they do it to you. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's disgusting behavior. Because if you've done it and you kept in secret, at least they've done it and they told you. Do you imagine that?
I can't.
Do you imagine that? Don't keep things. Because that is not an excuse. I'm so sorry. I get it. Some people go through things differently. And obviously some people are going through way worse things than just cheating or this and that. But do not keep it with someone. Another good scenario I like to use is what if you were really attracted to someone, love them, you were just awestruck by everything that they did, like they were just like the most amazing person to you. But then you go and find out after years or months, days, weeks, months, or years of being with them, you find out that they have an STD because you went to go get tested and you start getting symptoms. So you decide to go get tested and now you have an STD.
I can only imagine because I said it on many, many shows of mine. And Monica knows this, right? Because we try to make sure we both clean. T, you know this about me too. I'm scared of that shit. I'm scared of HIV. I'm scared of AIDS. I'm scared of STD. Right? I'm terrified of that stuff. So I can only imagine.
And then when you go and tell them that to get tested, they're like, "Oh yeah, I have AIDS. I just didn't want to tell you because it made me anxious, and I didn't know how you would react." And now your life done fucked up. Now your life done fucked up because of what? You know what I mean? Because of what? You're like, was it worth it? You've done fucked their life up, man. How angry would you be in that scenario?
Oh, livid. I would tell her, okay, here's some boxes. Here, get your clothes. Get out of my house. You paying for my test, and you paying for some insurance to go see about curing this. And that's how maybe you take pills. But I mean, you out of my life forever. Forever, ever, forever, ever. If I ever catch that, and my lady didn't tell me,
I don't think you'd be happy. I don't think anyone who has an STD is happy to have an STD. I don't think so. But the fact that some of y'all still are out here doing that shit, you're still out here hiding things from people. Don't hide things. Don't do that. I get it. I get it. You ever wonder why I always just say what's on my mind, this and that? Because I don't want people thinking that I'm holding anything back from them. Even if it hurts your feelings, I gotta tell you, because it will weigh on my conscience. I will sit there and I'll think about it in my head, and I'll eventually end up blurting it out somehow anyway. So, let me get it out the way. Whether I see you every day, whether I see you once a week, where I'm never going to see you again, just say what I think from the jump. And then it's done and over with. Very simple. You do something you're not proud of, please go out and say it. Say it. Don't hide it. Don't hide it. Don't hide it, and then be on social media out here laughing at people who are in the same situation. Don't be one of those people. Do not hide it. Go and speak. Use the mouth. Some of y'all like to eat ass. Some of y'all like to eat pokes. Some of y'all love to suck dick. Some of y'all love to eat in general. But none of y'all want to use your mouth to communicate how you feel. That's kind of crazy.
That is true. A lot of people don't communicate how they feel. For me, that's something I'm learning, right? So I kind of I kind of fall into that category a little bit. But now I feel like now that I've become an adult, I say a lot of things that's on my mind, like a lot. Whether it's on their shows, whether it's in the office, whether it's on set, I say what's on my mind, right? And I know some things I've said, past and present, that may have offended somebody. Somebody probably don't like what I have to say, right? But we all are entitled to our opinions. Some things I speak facts on, but most things I speak opinion on. And this today's society. You don't have to agree with everything what people are saying, but yeah, I'm learning as I become an adult and I make decisions and I do my own stunts and I do my own thing, make my own mind. Yeah, I'm gonna say what's on my mind, right? How I feel on certain things. Again, a lot of people don't like it, right? I've said some things to my parents, then they may not like what I've said, but I'm grown. I the same concept with my siblings now. We've had my siblings and we've had some conversations, even this over Thanksgiving break. We've had some conversations that I might spark somebody. Somebody may not like what I've said about how I felt on something, right? Um, People with my siblings, we value each other's opinions. We observe and we kind of give them some feedback of how we feel. But you can't change people's mind, right? People are gonna do what they do. Um, but yeah, I've learned to speak my mind a little bit more freely, and I think we all need to learn how to speak our own minds, right? It's true. A lot of people have a situation, but we hide it, and then we see social media and somebody having the same situation, and then you want to clown them for it, right? Because you didn't give them that ammo of yourself, right? Let's say if I'm doing a workout wrong, and I know I'm doing the workout wrong, but I hide it, and I see Jimmy John over there, friend on Facebook, he's doing the same exercise wrong. It's not fair for me to say, "Oh, you doing that wrong? Haha, look how funny you look." Wasn't I just doing that same funny pose the other day? Same kind of concept. We're learning. We need to learn how to speak our minds on something. Stop hiding it. Stop going to TikTok. Stop going to Twitter and Facebook and laughing at the same people that's in the same scenario, and you're no bigger than the other person.
Use your mouth to communicate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can do that. I don't understand why you're choosing not to. Why are you choosing not to? I get it. I get it. The anxiety, goes crazy sometimes. Sometimes anxiety be just putting you in that sleeper hole, putting you in that leg lock, that leg lock, that ankle lock, You're just submitted.
Shout out to WWE.
But you got to find the strength and the courage, the willpower to break free of the hold and go and tell them if you truly care about these people. If you truly care about them. Don't be out there doing them like that. There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse. Especially if it's information that pertains to them. Especially if it's something that they're a part of. I believe that if you're a part of something, you have 100% a right to know. If it involves you, if it will impact you, you should know. You should know. Why should you not know? Why should they not know? It's not their business. It is their business. It pertains to them. It will affect them in either a positive or a negative way. It is their business. Let it be their business. The way they react, you can't control. If you're afraid about how they react, you should have thought of that before you did it. You know what I mean? You should have fucking thought of that before they did it. Again, goes for me as well. Shouldn't I have thought about that? how my shorty would react to me cheating before I cheated. Why didn't I think about that? Very simple, like there's not really any excuse.
Yep, that and as we wrap up, that's truth. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, don't be afraid to tell somebody that you got anxiety. Um, don't be afraid of it, right? And when I was young, that was something that I thought that I had to hide. In some cases, I had to hide, right? Because me going through college, it's been a struggle going through college, and I had to figure this thing called life and this thing called adulting, and I had to just figure it out, right? Which caused, and there's a lot of people in our generation the same age as me where everybody had to figure out life. We don't have it all together. You guys might see us, in the studio doing the pod, or we're in the studio filming stuff. We don't have it all figured out, right? Um, Anxiety is something that I have every day. Coco, you mentioned off air before we hit on mic. You express it every day. T, you come to the office, you tell me, hey, I got my anxiety. It's up today. Monica, of course, me and you tell me, honey, my anxiety is up today. I need a minute, right? So it's okay to express, yes, I have anxiety. Yes, I have extreme PTSD, right? Sudden noises scare the living crap out of me. I can't stand it, right? So it's okay to voice your concerns, as you mentioned, Coco. Voice your concerns and say, yes, I am a victim of anxiety, right? It's okay. It's okay to talk about it. Talk about it to the right people, right? And people, and this is my PSA, people, if somebody with anxiety telling you about their anxiety or the shit that they're going through because of this anxiety, take a listen. Don't turn around. Don't make it about you. Genuinely listen to what they're going through with their anxiety. Try to counsel them, right? Talk to them, but don't make it about you. If Sally Sue comes to Jimmy John and Sally Sue's have a victim of anxiety and Jimmy John made it about him, that you're not listening. You're not listening. Listen to the person that has that anxiety, right? Because you might be able to give them some advice on how to reduce anxiety. Now, anxiety's there. You can't cure anxiety. If there was a cure for anxiety, I would have took the cure a long time ago. But there are ways to help me reduce my anxiety. Whether it's playing video games, listening to music, believe it or not, doing podcasting and filming helps reduce my anxiety. Now, there's a lot of film work we got to do, but it helps. Meditating, going to the gym, working out, hitting the sauna. Again, like I mentioned beginning of the podcast, my coworker started, she buys bath bombs and she takes a bath every now and then. Of course, I take showers every day, but with baths, at least twice a week, you should take a bath bomb, and that's something that I'm going to start doing because she said it helps her sleep, and it helps with her anxiety. Right? So there are ways to reduce your anxiety. Now, again, I'm not a professional doctor at this. I don't think there is a cure for anxiety. But there's a way that's going to help us reduce it. Same thing with PTSD. I'm doing the same things. I'm reducing this stuff. Like I say, it's okay to have anxiety. But like you said, Coco, always stop and think about it. When it comes to, you don't want to bring anxiety to your girlfriend, your wife, your boo thing, your sugar mama, your sugar dad, whoever you have, whatever your situation is, don't be afraid to voice that. Have good conversations. Talk to each other. Have people understand. And that's how we reduce our victimness of anxiety. That's how we do it. So that's going to wrap it up here on the show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, the Beyond Swanky podcast with your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas and Coco up in the studio. Coco, it's always been a pleasure you giving us your story on our show here at Swanky Studios. We're going to roll up out of here, but hopefully you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Stay tuned as we come back Thursday with another new episode of K.L.P. Aftermath, so don't miss out on it, guys. And, of course, check out Hardline Second Term and Street Style and New York Culture right now on Amazon Prime Video. All you got to do is go to Prime Video, look us up, rent or buy both films. Take a look and enjoy it because we've got so many more films coming out for Prime Video later on in our future. But for right now, we're doing pretty good when it comes to those two films, the documentary and the film as well. And, of course, if you're listening to the YouTube version of this podcast, thank you. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that way you guys don't miss when we upload our next video. So that's going to wrap it up here. The Beyond Swanky podcast with our cast and crew. I've been your moderator and host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas. As always, we like to say stay safe, stay swanky, peace.
Now tuned in to Atlanta's hottest radio show.
Our stories from our studio to your ears. It's the Beyond Swanky podcast.
With your host, Kennedy Lucas. On Swanky 93.3 radio station. The Heat 94.6 radio station.